Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man, a disc golf audio podcast brought to you by Dynamic Discs, where we want to help you become a better disc golfer. This is Bobby Cool.
You got some vocal fry.
That's my Count Dracula. Daddy Slick Breeze. With me, Eric McCabe and Robert McCall on Disc Golf Answer Man.
That was real. That was real life.
Yes, that was real. We are real.
All right.
When Anthony said, "Are you ready?" he really meant,
"Are you
What
ready?"
he meant was, "Are you ready?" So, yes.
I thought he was just trying to get us
Dang
hyped.
No. We are live. So, anyway,
Hype guy.
for you YouTube guys that are watching it right now, just as a reminder, this is a little bit different. We are not live. We are doing a premiere. This was, what did they say? This was pre-recorded before a live audience. This episode,
Studio audience.
before a studio audience. So anyway,
But we're live right now. We are here.
Yeah.
we are here
Together.
recording
You are watching a recording of us being
live. Yes, we have the studio audience with us today. How are you, studio audience? Doing well.
Yeah, laugh track.
Cue applause.
Cue applause. So, anyway, how was everybody's weekend? I know it was cold for me. I didn't do much. I did a little bit of chores. I spackled one of my walls to get it ready for painting.
Nice.
Did some cleaning. Watched a little football.
Mm-hmm.
What about you guys?
Not much at the McCall household other than baby stuff.
Yeah.
Just pooping and eating and sometimes sleeping.
And then taking care of Owen?
That was what I did.
Right.
Fair enough.
No, yeah, I mean that's mostly what we do now, but it's been fine. We're just hanging.
Nice.
Chilling.
What about you, Eric?
I played disc golf this weekend.
Hey-o.
Yeah, you said it was cold. It was very cold.
Yes, it was.
I played in the Boyce Bumgardner Memorial Doubles Championship over at Chase Disc Golf Course. It was Doug was going to play with Taco, and then Doug had something come up and he couldn't make it, so I stepped in last minute. And
I would assume you guys won.
well, we played against the Escavels, where Donovan and Isaiah were partners.
I would still assume you guys won.
We slayed it.
Torched it.
I mean, we shot a 41.
Wait.
I think we took 5 of Taco's drives and 1 of my putts. Like, Taco's putts were just on point. He missed.
Really?
Spoiler, I did video it, and I will put it out on my YouTube, whatever. But Taco only missed 1 putt inside the circle.
Dang.
Did you make it?
I did.
Nice.
I did.
That's
And
pretty solid.
It was a great day. We definitely meshed well together playing dubs. So it was fun. It was a good time.
Which course was it again? I heard
Swope. Chase.
Swope. Okay,
Yep,
nice.
Over
nice.
at Chase.
Very cool. Was it the recreational one with the
was,
tires?
It was definitely not the junior course. Had we
good.
shot 41 on those 9 holes, I would have just dropped everything and walked away. I'd still be walking.
Yep.
All right, very cool. Well, there was no disc golf tournaments as far as Pro Tour and anything like that. As you guys know, the finale is done, and I've seen a lot of messages on Facebook as far as like some of the players going back home, relaxing for the off season or off season part 3, as some people call it, because of the pandemic.
Right.
But but good stuff. Being able to play some local things around here. I will let you guys know that Winter Marksman League is coming up. Registration is going to open November 1st. We're going to start putting out some information. The only big change that's happening is that the trophy discs are the Latitude 65.
Whoa.
I've changed.
They've moved north.
They've moved a little north. Latitude 64 Moonshine Pure. That's going to be the trophy disc.
Nice.
But as far as the setup and all the packs that you can buy and the packages and stuff like that, those are all going to be the same. You can go to the website, dynamicdisc.com/WML. Clay is working on updating it, but you can get, like I said, not much has changed. So you can kind of get the gist of it if you're not familiar with it. But get yourself ready to run a Marksman League this winter season. It's a really good time to, if you can't get outside and play, at least you can be inside and keep up with your putting.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready for some questions?
Yes. Questions.
All right.
Let's
As
do it.
always, guys, go to discgolfanswerman.com. Submit your disc golf question. We will try to get it on the air. Be on the lookout for a new website. The old one is giving me some fits. I was trying to update it, and so I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to make a whole new website.
Sweet.
So something new coming along. First one is from Ryan. This is on Mandos. So the other day, I had a buddy clip the Mando tree on the safe side of the tree. And then it kicked around the back side of the Mando tree. Okay. At this point, the disc is level with the Mando tree. Does he still have to play around the Mando again, or because he made it the first time, he can then throw straight to the pin?
Okay.
Okay, did he go through the Mando and then it go backwards? Or did it hit and then not go past the Mando but roll backwards? That's what I need to know.
Yeah.
It sounds like he says it's level with the Mando tree, but it hit on the safe side. So as long as the disc is past the tree,
It's where the lie is, right?
that's where it lands. Is
Right.
what's important. But as long as it's past the tree and it hit on the safe side, you should be good to just throw straight to the basket. I'm not 100% about the diagram that you're trying to paint with words here,
What
but
if
I
it
think
hit,
that's right.
Like if this is your Mando
Yeah. Okay.
and you hit here and it rolled this way and he's in line with it,
Oh yeah. You'd still have to make that.
you still got to go around it. And most tournaments, one thing I see in tournaments that TDs don't do is mark the Mando line.
Yes, because if there's no
there's no
drop
line-
zone, it's a re-tee.
Yes.
It sucks.
Now explain that to me.
Well, the line is like, if you have a tree that's a Mando and it's a big, massive tree, what part of that tree is the Mando?
Oh, sorry. I understand what
You're
you're saying.
talking about
Right.
a drop zone.
Yes.
But so what you need to do as a TD, if you have a Mando, is paint a line that represents the Mando line. So if you are on that left side or short of the Mando, you have a reference
You
on
can easily tell.
what you need to do. If you need to still make the Mando or if you have missed the Mando.
Now, I think the rule changed, and I could be remembering this wrong, but didn't the rule, what was the unwind?
It used to be unwind.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you miss the Mando, no matter how
had to
far
come
past you are,
back
you had
around
to
it.
Yeah.
unwind.
That's no longer the case, right?
That's no longer the case.
Now-
I played a tournament actually in Emporia. One of my lefty buddies, his first hole of the Glassbone Open, this was years and years ago, was hole number 10, Jones West. It was similar to what it is now. The tee was a little bit moved and there was a bigger Mando tree, right? Lefty hole all day, just a big Hyzer, right? He missed the Mando.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
He parked the basket, missing the Mando.
Oh!
Had to unwind. His next shot, short of the Mando tree.
Oh
So
my
he
gosh, so
landed
he has
here,
to
so he had to
roll
go
around
all the way around in order to go. So he ended up
That's-
taking a snowman on a birdie hole to start the
I was going to
GBO.
say that's 5 or 6 at bet. Like assuming that you throw perfect shots from there on out.
Yeah, it was rough.
Dang.
Now, we were going through some of the hot takes that people submitted,
Yeah.
and someone had a very, very heated opinion about Mando.
Yeah.
And it kind of made me think, since we're talking about this, but Eric, you had said that there's something about Mandos that you think course designers should take into account, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Explain that to us.
So I'll play some courses where Mandos are just a necessity, whether it's a safety issue or you're just trying to avoid, say, like a playground or a sidewalk or another hole or a large area where pedestrians like to hang out. You
Yeah.
know, anything like that. A lot of tournaments these days seem to be going to that. I'm going to put a Mando up on this hole just because I don't want people throwing the easy Hyzer
To
at
make
this
the
hole.
course play how you
to make
want
the course
to.
play
Yeah,
harder.
it sucks.
I kind of disagree with that. I mean, it's kind of sucks when you don't have the terrain to work with like we do around here, honestly. But we don't really have any Mandos in Emporia that I can think of off the top of my head that are in place because it makes the hole harder. I would say all of our Mandos are there because of either a safety issue or you're staying clear of another hole or something along those lines.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's the reason they should exist.
Yes. Yep.
It's not always the reason that they do.
All right, next question comes from Spider Piggy.
Oh,
Da, 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 da.
does whatever a spider
that-
piggy does?
Yes, that's from the Spider Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Spider Piggy is?
Well, there was a Spider Pig. I can't remember if it was called Spider Piggy, but there was a
It was
Spider-Man
from the
pig.
Simpsons too.
Oh, is it?
Spider Pig
Oh, I
does
didn't know
whatever a
that.
spider pig does.
Oh, that's right, it is. All right, anyway, he asks about disc golf form
It's a
improvement.
smaller version of one of those.
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's a Spider Piglet.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
It's a more endearing version of one
Correct.
of those.
Yes,
Thank you.
yeah.
Okay, good.
Charlotte Spider Pig. No.
Okay.
No,
wait.
I've been playing for a couple of years now, but very casually. That's how I actually take on a lot of things in life.
Yeah.
I take it on very casually.
Do it for a couple of years very casually.
About one every 2 weeks or month. What?
About playing once every 2 weeks or a month.
I believe that's what he meant to say, but
Yeah,
that's
not what he
yeah.
typed.
I recently joined my first tournament and did recent. It did decent. Now I'm adding letters.
Yeah.
12 out of 38.
Yeah, not bad.
I was actually doing better till a card mate started to be negative, and this affected my play. I was top 3, but after his tirade, I started to miss putts. How can I avoid this in the future? You can punch him in the... No.
Just get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, this is not an isolated incident. It happens often, unfortunately.
I would say it happens at every tournament.
Pretty close. That somebody is...
Somewhere. It doesn't happen to, like, you at every tournament you go to.
But somebody is a turd and just isn't handling themselves the way that they should be. Yeah, unfortunately, unless that person is intentionally interfering with your play, there's not a whole lot you can do. Like if they get upset with
Call them
themselves,
out.
You can say please stop. Or if they are being distracting, the rule is written kind of ambiguously on this, because there has to be intent to distract before you can really call a courtesy violation, unless someone's just using bad language or something like that. But the hard thing for you is that you kind of just have to deal with it. And one of the best ways to do that is just to kind of stay in your lane. Like if I'm playing with someone who I know is going to get upset, or maybe they're rude, I don't really like playing with them.
Why are you looking at me?
I was looking at the camera.
Oh, okay. But you're looking at me in the camera.
Because all those people are the people I'm talking about.
That's true.
You jerks out. No. What I'll do is kind of just hang with someone on the card who I know I get along with, or even just someone who isn't that person. Truly.
Yeah. Make it a competition. Like get worse than they are.
Yeah. How much more tirade can I put in there?
Yes.
Right. Who can yell the loudest?
Right.
That's right.
No, I kind of just hang with that person. We talk about whatever, and I like to distract myself from disc golf so that I'm not paying too much attention to what's going on over there, so it doesn't affect my game. That's just one of the things that works well for me. It's not that I don't watch them throw because you're required by the rules to, but you do not have to engage with them as they're throwing their tirade. I don't know, what do you do in that situation?
I mean, pretty much the same thing. Just try to stick to one of the other 2 or 3 card mates, depending on how many you got on your card. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you could always just call them out and say, hey, what are you doing? Like, grow up, dude.
Please stop.
You can tell them, hey, you're affecting me. I don't want to call you on a warning. You're affecting the play of the card, everybody around you. Stop being a XYZ.
I mean, it becomes a fact of the game.
Harsh words there.
It is, man. I'm telling you.
It becomes a fact of the game, and I say that because we've been around plenty of pros, and the tournament's the next day, and they're looking at the PDGA website, and they're seeing who's on their card, and either you get gosh, okay, I got this guy, or hey, man, this could be a great card. Look what I got on my card, right?
Right.
So the pros know that it can affect your game, but what the pros do is, like you guys said, instead of saying, "Oh, there goes my round, it sucks," now it's gonna be they just know what they have to deal with, and then they just do what they have to do to deal with it.
Yeah, try to ignore it too. I mean, if you can. I mean, for some players, getting aggressive and super angry can fuel their fire. Actually makes them play better.
Right.
So don't throw gas on that fire, I guess.
Right. Or you could follow Dwight's and just shun them.
Yeah, sure.
Shunned.
Unshun.
Unshunned.
I got a 2.
You're yeah, I got a 2. Shunned.
What was your score? Reshun.
Yeah. All right. The next one comes from Levi. This is on Mental Game. Hey guys, Levi from New Zealand here again. Thanks to Danny for the impression, by the way.
Nailed it.
My question is about Mental Game in tournaments. I find that I have dominated my division in New Zealand recently, usually winning by 20 or so shots.
Nice.
We don't call that dominating.
No, we do not.
No.
What division are you playing in?
We're picking on you, Levi. Just kidding. I had my first 1,000 rated round this year at my home tournament, in which I came second overall by 1 stroke.
Cool.
I'm often in the mix when it comes to overall performance, but find my motivation lacking, as most of the tournaments this year haven't been PDGA sanctioned, so I find that when I have a bad round, the following won't be as good, because I know that I am only playing for tour points, and I am out of the mix for overall position. Any tips, goals to be working toward in these COVID times would be much appreciated. As usual, thanks for your time.
Do you eat kiwis with the skin on them when you're playing Levi? Because because that's what people in New Zealand do. I don't know if you knew that.
Wow, that's very stereotypical.
Kiwis?
I'm joking.
Way
I'm
to
just
typecast
kidding, Levi. Okay, so I
I
would
thought
say
that had to do with mental game. Like, well, imagine the kiwi.
so
is
if you take
your
the
life.
skin off. So you're really never out of a disc golf tournament.
That's not entirely
Okay. There you go. I guess that's fair. You can shoot a really terrible first round, and maybe it's extremely improbable that you would get back into cash or winning or placing on the podium or anything like that. But I don't think that should mean that you shouldn't try. And I understand that it's not sanctioned, so there's no rating. That's understandable. But for me, one of the reasons that I go to disc golf tournaments is to compete, period. Whether there's a rating on the line, whether there's cash on the line. I want to compete with the other people there, but with myself, right? I want to prove that I can overcome a bad start or a bad few holes or an annoying card mate like Spider Piggy just talked about.
Piglet.
Spider Piglet, pardon me, is the young version. So if I were you, I would go into that second round totally not thinking about the first round at all. Don't think, hey, I have to shoot 6 under to jump up to where I would make cash, because you never know. People who are on that lead card or chase card, they could absolutely fall apart during the second round. And if you put together something reasonable, you could shoot up the leaderboard faster than you think.
Well, it's not just about that. It's also about just never giving up.
Yeah, true.
That whole thing and playing for your pride, I guess you would say. Going out just because you're so far behind or whatever the case may be, doesn't mean you still don't want to come out and give it your all.
Yeah, I agree.
You still want to. It's regardless if you're out of the event, it's still such good practice for the future events. Being able to put yourself in that mindset, knowing, hey, I need to set a goal. Maybe I need to beat my last round by X whatever strokes, and going out there and really giving it your all is really what you need to do, as opposed to just, being that other guy, being the guy that Piglet played with,
Piglet.
Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly.
I got all kinds of pig references. All right, guys. Well, as I mentioned before, this is kind of a new format to the show. We're adding segments, and in the comments of the Disc Golf Answerman Facebook group and on YouTube, a lot of comments of people enjoying the new segments. So thank you guys so much for that feedback. And one of those segments is Danny's Disc Golf Tips. And this week we have a little bit of advice on Hyzer flips.
Discs that turn more fade less. Understable discs are typically shown to fly on big turnover lines, but as we all know, discs can be used for a lot more than just one shot. One of the most useful ways to throw an understable disc is on a Hyzer flip. A Hyzer flip will take advantage of the speed and glide of an understable disc, but still lets it hold a relatively straight line. To throw this shot, start with an understable disc and throw it hard, low, and on a Hyzer angle. Ideally, the disc will flip to flat or stand up and maybe even work right a little bit, and then have a gentle finish. Sounds super easy, right? Not exactly. Throwing a Hyzer flip requires knowing your disc super well. A little too much turn and the disc can turn all the way over and cut roll. Too little turn and the disc won't get to flat and it'll just move left the whole flight. That's why practicing this shot is so important. Newer players often struggle with Hyzer flips because of a nose-up release. Getting the nose down is what makes discs turn, and that can often be difficult, especially for a Hyzer release. So if you're struggling with this, I'd first encourage you to check out some of the videos I've made on the Dynamic Discs YouTube channel about nose down, and then try to throw with a little less Hyzer. Nose down on an extreme Hyzer is actually kind of nose sideways, which really doesn't make sense. So start with just a little bit of Hyzer and work your way to more. For disc selection, if you're struggling with getting a Hyzer flip shot, try throwing something even more understable. Starting with a shot that flips all the way over and working towards a straight shot is a great way to get the right feel. Also, throwing maximum speed discs on Hyzer flips is something only the fastest of arm speed can do. When you have to be that precise with the release angle, power can really mess things up. Try choosing a slower disc for your Hyzer flip shot, especially at first, just to get your form down. The Dynamic Discs Vandal is a great disc for the Hyzer flip shot. Being a 9-speed, it's not super fast, so it doesn't require as much power, and it's got a great line to fly super straight and a good bit of glide to get some good distance and fight turning over too much and cut rolling. Sometimes you may want to throw a more stable disc on a Hyzer flip line if you want to shape a Hyzer but get a little bit more distance down the fairway before fading. This is known as a push Hyzer, and the form to throw that shot is almost identical to the Hyzer flip I just described, but with a different disc. My go-to for that shot is a getaway. Lastly, most of the time, control is valued over distance on the course, but if you're going for the best bang for your buck as far as distance and control, throwing a Hyzer flip with a faster disc will offer a lot of control and massive distance. But everyone's game is going to be a little bit different. So let me know over in the Disc Golf Answer Man Facebook group what your go-to disc is for Hyzer flips. And if you don't have one already, check out the Vandal.
Good stuff from Danny. Thank you so much. Guys, make sure you are subscribed to the Dynamic Discs YouTube channel, and then make sure that little bell is clicked or tapped or whatever you got to do to make it do what it's saying.
Ring.
Ring it. You
Ring
can
my bell.
bell. Okay. If you want to get notifications,
Copyright! DMCA.
Make sure that you ring the bell so you can get notifications and know whenever we upload new content. Also, make sure you check out the stories. We're going to start posting. We have started posting stuff to YouTube stories just like we do for Instagram and Facebook. So check that out.
I didn't even know YouTube had stories now.
Yes, it does.
Like scary stories?
Everybody does stories now.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Just everybody.
Why did you do
Why did you do that?
Actually, it's Snapchat that really started the whole trend.
Story
Pretty
thing.
much.
And then Instagram tried to buy Snapchat, and Snapchat said no, thank you, and Instagram said okay, we'll just make it.
do this.
And I think,
There's nothing
obviously I use
proprietary about
Instagram
it,
a
I
lot more
guess.
than I use Snapchat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Although I use Snapchat for some good times.
Yes, you do. Whenever I see a little ding and I see it's from Eric, I'm like,
Oh, this is good.
This is
good.
It's about to go down.
Anyway, let's get back to the questions, guys. Let's see. This next one is from Nick. Hyzer and turnover shots. My local course has a lot of lefty forehand heavy holes, and I can't really throw forehand. Okay. I've been practicing my turnover shots lately, and I've been getting pretty decent. My main discs are the Underworld and Max Weight Diamond. Do you suggest any other discs to try? FYI, I tried a Witness, and it was way too flippy. I just wanted to change that because I want flippy.
We haven't mispronounced enough words
I
yet.
know.
So
That one was. I made it through that one way too easy.
make sure and hit our quota per question. That's really funny.
FYI.
Yeah, I mean,
Fue.
I would recommend a Maverick to you. I think it's going to be a little bit more stable than the Max Weight Diamond and the Underworld.
Definitely will be.
But still on the understable side of the spectrum. So maybe something that you don't have to worry about turning over too much or turning into a roller, especially if you really like the Underworld and Max Weight Diamond. So you might try that. And then another one that's kind of similar to the Underworld, but in between that and the Maverick would be a Fury from Latitude 64. If you can find one of those, I think that's a really good turnover disc. I use it as a roller, but if I'm in a pinch and can't get much arm motion into it, it'll just flip up to flat for me and ride to the right really slowly. So I think that's a good disc to try.
Fury's great. It's such a good disc. Nick Fury? No, the other one I would suggest is along the Maverick side of things is the River from Latitude 64. It's similar to Maverick. I think it may be a touch slower and less stable than a Maverick. I would say,
very glidey.
But very glidey, and it is just a fantastic fairway driver, and it's decently understable. So maybe give one of those three discs a try.
Yeah,
Cool. Next one is from Tony. I like to say the name like that, Tony. One topic to teach, he inquires about. If you only had one thing or topic excluding techniques about throwing or disc selection, you could teach to a person about disc golf, what would it be? Whether it be a total beginner, friends having fun at a course with a couple of beers, or a seasoned competitor.
if you could only
With the
teach
exception of
technique or disc selection.
what else?
I feel like that only leaves me with mental game. That's what I would choose
Yeah.
anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I mean, if
Just the way you're like,
that's fair.
I wouldn't.
No,
It's ridiculous.
awful idea.
I only say that because I think
And you have a child?
that's a good point.
Golly.
My bad.
What were you thinking?
Guess I'll go home. I would choose mental game because I think improving on your mental game is one of the ways that you can get past plateaus in disc golf. But I also would teach that to somebody because it's one of the things I know better than other aspects of disc golf. Like I can throw backhand fine. I'm not super great at breaking down every little bit of it, but I can tell you how to think through a hole or think through a shot, think through a round. So that's just something that I would be probably of most help to somebody with. So that's why I would pick mental game, especially if I have to exclude technique or disc selection.
Yeah. Well, my thing is I'm not going to exclude those things because those things are very important to teach, especially a new disc golfer. Or, I mean, sure, the mental part would be definitely in line with the seasoned competitor, but you're not going to teach a mental game to your buddies that are out just having beers on the course. You're just not going to.
No.
They're just going to look at you like, you must be a father.
Yes. You must be a dad.
A
Father.
So, no, it's tough 'cause since you took away kind of everything and kind of said, here, you can only do it. But these mental game is really the only thing you can teach. But that said, I would definitely new players. It's always in my mind, the short game is always the most important. And I know that's part of the, throwing techniques, but that is still what I'm going to teach.
I think that qualifies. Okay. I think that'd be good.
Perfect.
And I agree. Yeah. When you're brand new, learning to throw, it's hard, but learning to putt seems impossible.
It is impossible.
It might still be impossible.
And it looks so easy.
Yeah, you're just right there. You just throw it in the basket, and then it stays, and profit. Yeah. But it's not that easy. And so if you could tell someone this is the thing to work on most, I'm with you on that. Especially starting out, short game, no doubt.
Could you teach them about the disc golf community is a great community? No.
I mean, you could, but it won't help their scores very much.
Well, he didn't say how to improve. He just said you could teach a person about disc golf. Oh. He didn't say how to become better at disc golf.
Well, that's the only thing I care about.
Apparently.
Dang, man.
I was just thinking that, or how a seasoned competitor could teach about that, about how disc golf has affected different people's lives.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with mental game.
Okay. All right, next one is from Anthony. He wants to know about Judge Plastic. I'm seriously considering switching my main putter from a Wizard to a Judge. I
believe it's pronounced Whizzard.
Whizzard.
Thank you.
Last year in the Trilogy Challenge, I fell in love with the retro plastic from the Keystone. It just holds the change. Nice. Which plastic should I try?
Hey, good job.
You like that?
You nailed it.
Which plastic should I try from DD that will be closest to the retro from Latitude 64?
Well, I mean, that's a pretty easy answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prime plastic
is the same plastic.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you're unfamiliar, Latitude 64 produces the discs for Latitude 64 dynamic discs and Westside discs.
Westside.
Pardon me, Westside discs. Thank you. I had forgotten. Why am I saying what? Weird.
What's way?
All of it. Anyway, so while we have differently named plastics, they all align with one another in some way. So retro in Latitude 64 is the same as Prime for dynamic discs, is the same for Origio for Westside discs. So if you find a disc with that plastic, you can rest assured it is the same blend of plastic.
So Prime Judge is what you want.
Yeah, do it.
Excellent.
You should like it.
So another segment that people enjoyed was Anthony's disc reviews. And in this week, he's going to review the Dynamic Discs Vandal, which comes out in Lucid soon, or has already?
Wait, it's already out.
It's out.
It's already out? Okay, it's already out and available right now at dynamicdisc.com or your favorite Disc Golf Pro shop. Let's hear from Anthony.
The Vandal reminds me a lot of the Maverick, but at a slightly higher speed. It's a fantastic disc for really dialing in your Hyzer flips and teaching you proper form. The slightly understable flight path is perfect for Hyzer releases because of the shot variety you can get with just a simple change in release angle. Thrown on a slight Hyzer, the Vandal will flip up and ride straight for seemingly ever. On a flat release, you'll get an incredibly smooth turnover, and on a strong Hyzer release, the Vandal has the stability to hold that without a massive fade at the end. With a smaller rim width and a gently rounded dome, the Vandal will fit comfortably in all hands and grip styles. Players of all skill levels can carve up their course with the Vandal.
All right, thank you, Anthony.
Anthony.
Yes. That's how I struggled because it was like,
Yeah.
Anthony.
That doesn't sound right.
So going into the review, I had mentioned that the Lucid Vandal, but actually it's the Lucid X Vandal,
Yes.
which is the match play fundraiser.
Yep.
So Lucid X Vandal. So if you love the Vandal, if you haven't tried it out, I highly recommend it. I have it in my bag. But if you want something with a little more stiffer plastic, check out the Lucid X.
Yes.
So we had one of our listeners, I believe it's Adley.
Yeah,
That
could be right.
I think we called him Adley, and someone said thank you for pronouncing it right. I could be wrong. Otherwise, it might be Adley.
Adlai.
Yolei.
So now we pronounced it wrong.
Right. So anyway, he submitted. Pardon me. He submitted this. I can't remember if it was a hot take or a question, but I thought it'd be interesting for us to kind of dissect and get our opinion.
Yeah, let's.
All right, so this is on the Disc Golf Pro Tour Finals format, which of course just happened a couple of weeks ago. The finals. I think the format for the let's explain that. Well, no, he kind of goes into it.
That's fine.
I think the format for the Disc Golf Pro Tour Finals needs a little work. I like the eliminations round by round, but it seems that the players that start in the semis can be at quite a disadvantage due to potentially being one round and done, while others have one or two under their belt and get the advantage of feeling like it is a regular tournament. All right, here's his solution or his suggestion. It would be to have all the players in the quarters with the semi-slotted group of players safe from elimination. This way we could have a 2-round total for the final round cut instead of a 1-round crapshoot. He says, am I nuts? Then he says, don't answer that. It might just be the ball golfer side of me. I played collegiately, so I have a lot of tournament experience, but I just do not like this format. What are your all's thoughts?
Shouldn't have played so good.
Yeah. Okay, so
I kind of mentioned this during our talk last week or 2 weeks ago that I think it was Calvin was the only one that made it through.
Big Vinny.
Yeah, that was it. Eagle, Paul, and Ricky all lost that round because I thought maybe the other guys had a little more familiarity with the course, and getting into that rhythm. Which sure, but to me that's just the way it is. That's just the way it should work. You know what I mean? Because they've earned that spot into the semis where they're making more money than if they just played the first round and lost.
Sure.
How have they earned that spot?
Tour points.
Tour
Points throughout the season.
So I think I understand what you're suggesting, and I don't think it's a bad idea. I would tweak it just a little bit. So like I said, in the FedEx Cup for golf right now, one of the things they do is start, like Dustin Johnson was leading going into the week. So he started the week at 10 under par. Somebody else started at 9. Justin Thomas was like 9 or 8 under par. I don't remember what it was. And that still seemed a little weird to me because then it was kind of all but guaranteed that Dustin Johnson was going to win. What could work for something like this, and I think this is kind of what you're suggesting, but I'm going to switch it up just a little bit. Instead of having a 2-round total for the final round, I would like to give the players, the players that have better scores, more chances to qualify for the final. So, all right, here's the way that this works, and this is kind of off the top, but I think it could work. All right, there are 32 players at the start of the event. What happens right now is players 17 to 32 play the first day, and the top 4 go on to play the next day. What if all 32 of those players played, but only players 17 to 32 were competing for the spots to move on to the next day? Players 1 through 16 were just putting down a score, right? If it's, let's use Calvin as an example. Calvin pops off and shoots 10 under par. then that can count for the round where he is expected to qualify. So maybe that's in the semifinals, right? But players 17 to 32, say there's 2 6s and 2 5s. Those players move on to the next day where the remaining players all play again, and you get to take your best round and have that count for the round where you have to qualify or you're done or you're expected to play, right? I'm not sure I'm explaining this as well as I could be.
What if conditions are different?
No,
Does that matter?
No, that's fine because this gives the higher seeded players more chances to qualify, right? So you take your best round instead of
so if his second round was 6 down and his first round was 10 down, his
he still gets to play his 10.
Would go. See, that's kind of weird.
It
if
is.
Conditions are like Bobby said.
Right, it is, but all of the top players get those same chances. So instead of it being a combined score, it's if you put down a hot round, maybe that's enough to get you into the finals.
Gives
but you
them incentive to try that round.
Exactly, and you still play each day so that you're warm by the time the semis and finals come around, where you actually have to qualify at that point. Just spitballing, I think that something like that could work.
And this is to counter the whole thing of them not playing at all until it's their day to play.
Exactly. For a couple of reasons. One is because, they don't have familiarity with the course, at least on tournament days, because they don't really play the first 2 days. But two, this kind of gives them an advantage because they all right, so the first day, let's say Calvin was first in Pro Tour points, and he shoots a 3 under, which is not going to qualify.
Whoops.
No problem, because he doesn't have to qualify that day. Mm-hmm. But if he shoots a 10 under, it could be good enough to qualify on the third day. Like you just take your best score, and then the 4 people with the best scores on the last day get to move on to the final round. I like
the idea. I think it's going to be a little more confusing for the viewers.
It will definitely be confusing for the viewers, no doubt.
What I would rather see is match play. Just full-on match play. Why not make it match play finale event? Because then it's fair across the board. You've already got your seeds, your seeding, and you can go 1 versus 32 if you want, or if you want to do it like NCAA, and have the 4 number ones and so on. There's just match play to me. And, we've experienced match play quite a bit here at DD with the amateur match play side of things, but it's just so much fun to watch when it's one-on-one instead of you worrying about, what somebody else is doing on a different card or anything like that. It's just the fact that one-on-one, it just really, can you imagine like that coming down the stretch and it is a one-on-one? Like that final round, had it have been Kevin and Chris going one-on-one match play, that would have been such a fun battle to watch. Not that stroke play wasn't fun to watch, but I think it makes it fair across the board.
Yeah, I love match play.
Yeah,
I would be on. I would be on board with that for sure. But if you're having to work inside the constraints that they already have, Jeff Spring, give me a call. I'll explain it a little bit more. I think that actually gives, now that we're talking it through a little bit, I think it gives the players who had more Pro Tour points more opportunities to advance rather than just one shot with not much warm-up.
Okay, so just so we can, and I want to understand a little bit better Eric's idea on the match play, and let's kind of just play this through.
Yeah.
So, like in our match play, you win your state, you come here, and then we let the computer decide who you're up against.
This wouldn't be random, though.
Right. How would you, who?
Tour points.
Pro Tour points.
So the number 1 tour point against the second place?
No.
It would be 1 versus last, second versus second to last, third versus third to last. Oh, really? So it'd be...
Yeah. So players 16 and 17 would play one another.
Mm-hmm. And they'd be the 15. Closest in tour points, right?
Exactly.
Correct. But then 1 and 32 are going to be so far apart.
Right, but that's then... You earn that spot if you're number 1 in tour points. You should get what should be an easier matchup.
Okay.
That's like why brackets like that.
Or so that's how you would rationale I'm against the last person.
Yes.
Is that I've earned being able to play. Like you said, I've earned.
I mean, it's like March Madness. It's a whole seeding thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
I'd be down for that.
I think that'd be
cool
interesting to watch.
I think it'd be really fun to watch.
Well, and there's more. Honestly, there's a lot more storylines in match play than there are in stroke play. And you could still have multiple film crews out there and have 2 matches playing on the same card at the same time. So same number of shots recorded. You'd have to do a little bit more keeping up with who's where on the whole if you're doing the commentary or even the post-produced commentary. But Yeah, match play.
We did match
I
play.
love it.
Actually, Players Cup went from a singles major event to a match play style event, which was so much fun to play. It was the tournament that I looked forward to playing the most every year. I remember I stayed with it was in Austin or Dripping Springs technically. And I stayed with Micah Moon Winners.
Oh, Micah, my man, big shout.
And we drew each other first round.
Oh, brutal.
And he wrote a song about me.
Yeah.
That night.
How he was going to beat you, probably.
Yes, and just completely belittling me, and it was one of the best things ever.
Now, I would assume you smoked him.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
I mean, Micah's a good player, but
But this was like
You're a better
2008, like right after I won the Players Cup. You know, I was like full prime EMAC mode, and I beat him by a couple.
got him pretty good.
Imagine the headlines and social media blowing up if number 31 beat number 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why. Like,
That would be kind of.
Well, it's
That's
like
why
March
March
Madness,
Madness is so
right?
good.
Like a number 1 seed. Did it happen?
it
Number
did
one?
happen.
Okay, yeah. Number 1 seed finally lost first round, first time ever that
Wow.
it's ever happened.
Yeah. Now, to what Adley, or however you pronounce it, is,
Leahy.
I don't think that's it.
No? Okay,
that's
close.
a few too many letters.
Right.
That doesn't really help with a one and done thing,
No.
because then
Nope.
if you lose the first round, then you're in the bottom 16 and you make whatever it would have been this year, $1,200, which still, hey, that's not a bad weekend's worth of work to go in and lose a tournament or lose a round. But yeah, I'd be down for that. That'd be awesome.
That'd be interesting.
And you have the perfect amount of players to do it. Like 32 gives you a nice even bracket.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for submitting that scenario to us. And if you guys have other ideas that you want to see us kind of break down and think it through, send it to the hot takes form that we have out there right now. I think it's only on the Facebook group, but I'll try to put it out on the website as well. So if you can check that out. Thanks, guys, so much. All right, so if you've watched any of social media, paid attention a couple weeks ago, you probably saw Eric Oakley's amazing, what they said 55, but we think it's a little more than 55.
It was outside circle too, for sure.
And it was on an elevated basket, correct?
Yep.
Amazing.
Jammed it.
Jammed it out there.
And a putt that he needed.
Yeah, had to have it.
Yeah.
So Robert reached out to Eric Oakley to kind of get some of his thoughts on that, correct? On that?
Yeah,
Or-
just the weekend.
And just the weekend and stuff like that. So let's see what Eric Oakley has to say.
Eric, what's up, man? How's it going?
What up, Robert?
Chilling. It's cold here. It's probably
bet.
not cold there.
Dude, I've been loving the weather since we got back. Shorts, t-shirt, just I mean, go outside, you're just like, all right, I don't need to do anything. This is amazing.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I wore a shorts and a t-shirt earlier and then put pants and a hoodie on over it just to be in my house. It's cold. There's snow on the ground today.
That's crazy, dude. It's bonkers.
Yeah, that's all right. Whatever. Hey, let's take a minute and talk about Pro Tour finale because you crushed it. Yeah, talk me through your rounds. So you had to play the opening round, which means you were in the top. What did you have to be to qualify for that?
It was like 17th through 32nd, but it ended up being like 17th through like 34th or 5th, or 18th through 34th or 5th after that. After a couple of people dropped out, and
So tell me about Hornet's Nest. Tell me about what you did.
Honestly, Hornet's Nest is one of those courses that if you watch the scores or watch the rounds at all, is like it's pretty gnarly come the back nine. So it's all about scoring in the front. In that first round, like every time I've gone into these Pro Tour finals, I've always just had one hole and just kind of sucked, and then it just and then it's so hard to come back because what we saw is like every round, it's not like outside of maybe the semifinals, like you had to shoot really good to move on. And so hole one is, I think it's a little too long for what it asked for. It's like not often enough birdied, but way more often parred and bogeyed. So it's like almost too long, but it's a really, really difficult, challenging hole. It's an amazing starting hole. So I'm pretty much playing it for par. Go to the next hole and just get it's an island hole, and I know exactly what I need to do. I just take a Lucid X Felon and I force it over, let it drift out to the left, and then it fades back and just checks into the hillside or into the trees. And I usually have a look for two. And I threw that thing like I threw it like if if I was like, how committed I am to Tina and,
Right.
asking my wife, like I'm so committed. Like I
Yeah.
was the complete opposite type of person. Like didn't
Yes,
commit
good.
to the angle, didn't commit to anything, threw it, skips off, goes way out in the water. And I was like, what just happened?
Cool. This is a great start.
Oh, I love bogeying and then get up and down. I ended up swimming for it later. Eagle had fun videos
Nice.
about it. It was really good. Yeah, and then I just kind of I had a little bit of rage, and then the next hole they moved the tee pad back. I'm not going to go hole by hole. I'm just doing this to get
Sure, you're good.
It's like to get the understanding is
Yeah.
the next hole is a really difficult par 4 that I actually got 2 out of the 3 rounds. And it plays for kind of a flexed sidearm, and I just was taking a kind of decently stable Raider, and I was just sending it as hard as I possibly could, and it would just peel all the way to the left, and then it would check back into the right spot. Lucid X fell an upshot, jam the putt, super easy, and I was able to do that, but I had a little extra energy, so I almost threw it too far, but was pretty sweet. And then it just kind of things started to fall into place that I was game felt easy because what was being asked of me, like from where my tee shot landed, was all just all right, just throw a shot you are 100% capable of throwing. And hole 5 I ended up throwing in for eagle. It was a pretty cool
So
shot.
sick.
I went fell in layup, fell in into the hillside, and just plopped up and kind of like looked at me, said hi, and then landed in the chains.
Drano.
All right, sweet, let's go.
Sick.
Yeah, and then kind of I knew that I was already at that point playing a good round, and that if I got into the back stretch and I just maintained it, it'd be super easy. I asked my caddy, Kyle Deck, who runs Another Round Disc Golf in Charlotte. He asked me, I asked him on 17, I had a putt for birdie. And I go, do I need this? And he goes, no. And I just chipped it up, dropped it in. Hyzer went out on 18. And then, lo and behold, I had tied for the hot round with, I believe it was Presnell. And I was stoked because I was playing with him. So we kind of were pacing off of each other. So it was a really good
That's awesome.
kind of go of it. And then the second round was also super good. I also had another amazing card of people. And I kind of just played good. I was I kind of got on early, didn't make many mistakes. Missed some putts down the stretch though, like not normal putts. Like I missed like a 25 footer for par on one of the holes, and I knew that was like, I was like, I really would be so bummed if it's something like that keeps
you out, right?
And you can't really be thinking about that. So I was just like, dude, just fine. You're gonna have other opportunities. Get 17. Did I get 17? I think I didn't get 17. I ended up hitting it short. But then coming to 18, it's probably one of the coolest things that I've done in disc golf to date. And even like in all sports, like playing soccer growing up, whatever. That's like, this was one of those moments that I knew it was super important because what it did to the players who were still out playing.
Right.
If I'm at 5, everyone out still playing can just, all they have to do is get to 5 down, and they knock me out.
And then they're good
points. Yeah. So getting to 6 made it a lot harder in that back 9 of how many holes they still had to get. And so that made them have to play their game plan differently. So that's why you saw the emotion in that putt. I threw an Explorer because we had a tailwind, and it just kind of leaked a little right, and I was like, well, I got a chance. That's all I've been telling myself, is as long as I have a chance to putt, I have, we're in. And jammed it, and that's pure raw emotion.
Sick.
It's exactly how I felt. Like that's exactly what I want to be doing every time I make a putt like that. But obviously we can't always. But in this situation, there's only 8 other people on the course, and they're all over the place. So it was super nice.
Just put the pressure on them. That was so cool.
Yeah.
I've watched that video a few times. Just like, because you can tell halfway there, it's like, this is looking pretty good.
Yeah, it was one of those that I thought I spun a little too far to the right, but it was just so far out that I knew I had to play some fade.
Yeah, for sure.
All I was thinking was just spin it, make sure it has a chance to go in, because at that point, like if I'll make the comeback for par, and 5 will be good enough if I miss. So dude, it was nuts. And
That's
like,
awesome.
Clutch moments. Like I hope I have more opportunities to do stuff like that.
I dig it. Give me 30 seconds. What do your next couple weeks look like?
We're going to, I might come out to Emporia, which will be nice.
Okay.
We're going to do some of that stuff. Having a conversation with Seth Muncie. I do have a workout plan for today. So it's just working out, eating healthy. I'm intermittent fasting.
Nice.
Resting my elbow because I had a little bit of tennis elbow, I think.
Yeah,
but I'm not
sucks.
sure if it was, from pickleball or if it was just from overuse from disc golf. So I've been, taking care of that. Super good. Getting healthy, coming to Emporia to do stuff. Campership Classic in north of Charlotte in North Carolina. That's going to be awesome. DD is presenting that tournament, and enjoying the holidays with Tina and her family.
Awesome. Awesome, dude. Eric, good talking with you. Excited to see you in Emporia sometime soon, and we'll catch you soon, man.
Thanks, Robert. See you, bud.
Later, dude.
Thanks, Eric, for taking the time to talk with me. Excited to see you in Emporia here in the next couple weeks, and good luck in the off season. Thanks for hopping on the call with me.
Cool, good stuff. All right, so I wanted to try something different.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah, try something different on the show.
Famous line from Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze.
Hold my beer. No. No. We're not going to do this every week, but I thought it'd be fun to do a little disc golf trivia. And see who, between Eric and Robert, who can get more points here. So 5 questions, 1 point per question. There are a couple of bonus questions, so you can get in there. So I'm actually going to bring up a little scoreboard here so that we can make sure that we make this legit. Not on the screen. I wish we could figure out, maybe next time we can figure out a way to get it on the screen, but I'm going to do it right here. I'm going to
do it in post.
All right, so they have no idea. The only thing they know is the subject of these, but they have no idea what the questions are.
It's a very rough category.
So.
It is.
All right, so first question. What year did Paul Macbeth reach 1,000 rated as a player?
Do we buzz in? What's going on here?
Yeah, we have
that's
to.
fair. Oh, I don't know. I didn't think that part through. I didn't know if you.
Interesting.
Surprised you didn't know that.
Did you?
Okay, I've got. I think we should just say it. So we should do 1, 2, 3. Say it at the same time.
Here's the thing, though. This is a question that you can't really ask because I'm sure Paul Macbeth, like me, when the ratings were introduced, was already 1,000 rated.
No. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I will tell you, I got
do.
my answer straight from PDGA.com. So however it is represented, whatever.
If so, then your answer
however
would be
valid
2,000.
that is.
2000 is when the ratings started?
Yeah.
No.
You sure?
No, it was after 2000. It was because I was playing pro on tour when that stuff started to go down.
Maybe that was a good trivia question. When did ratings start?
Okay, well,
That would have been a better question.
I'll say
2003.
Okay, I'm gonna go 2008.
You are correct. 2008.
Bingo!
April 29th,
We need to dig deeper into that.
Maybe-
See when
maybe
the
that'll be
ratings
a good
actually
deep-
started.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I always thought it was 2000. But
I wonder if
obviously
we
that's wrong.
if we get Chuck Kennedy on here.
Because you can go back and look at what your rating would have been in 99 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right.
But technically,
Right.
Well, that'll be
You
a
know what
good
I'm
deep
saying?
dive.
So
Yeah, that's a
at
good
the
one.
Dive for
asterisk.
next one. Okay.
Good one to know.
So the bonus on this one though. Okay. so this
okay.
one, but technically for our purposes. So Eric got that wrong and Robert got it right.
Nice.
So let me find my little
There's
scoreboard.
a little asterisk on
Hey,
it.
wait. That's legit. I got it right.
Come on.
Sorry.
All right. Bonus.
False.
Bonus
What
footage.
year did he win Worlds and was sponsored by Dynamic Discs?
Oh,
2012.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna
Oh,
say.
okay, cool. Good.
Well, too bad I said it first.
That was I knew it too.
I need to figure
That
out
was
the
the
buzzer
start. That
thing.
was
I
the
should
start of
figure out
4
the buzzer
straight
thing.
though.
Okay.
That was yeah.
Okay, so now this one we won't need.
That was the first Jomez video.
Oh no, well, let's see.
Was it?
Yeah.
I was on a
At
Jomez video.
at Charlotte Worlds.
I was on a Jomez video at Peter Pan Park.
Pedro Pan.
Jones GBO that year, the year we played Pan.
Oh heck yeah, that's right. Nice.
Okay, so maybe I should do this. Should we do the raise hand one? The raise your hand?
Well, do we both get to answer or not?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll say it. We'll do 1, 2, 3 and say it at the same time. And then we'll stick with our answer.
Okay, is that how we're going to do it?
That's fine.
Okay. According to PDGA.com, between Katrina Allen and Paige Pierce, who has the better percentage when it comes to career wins to career events?
Okay.
Okay.
I've got my answer.
1, 2, 3.
Katrina.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think one of us needs to say 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I was going to say Katrina just because of the way you worded the question.
And she doesn't play as many small events as Paige used to.
Okay. Yes, you're correct. How? Okay, let me do one over under. What percentage?
Oh, jeez.
Gosh. Okay. I don't think Katrina's quite at 50, but she's probably pretty close.
Okay.
I would say like 60%.
Okay. Katrina's at 51%.
Oh yeah. Okay.
How close do you
So
think?
you went
Paige-
over, so that doesn't count.
Right.
That's
No, I went
false.
under.
We both went over, so it's
No, I went.
points.
Wait.
How close do you think Paige is?
I bet she's in the 40s. Maybe a little less, honestly. But yeah, I'd say in like the low
40s
40s.
is probably pretty good.
47%.
Okay.
I thought that
So
was
it's not by much.
interesting.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So
That's a good one.
How many events is what I'd like to know? Both of them. Have played
let's
career-wise.
see. I actually left a link just in case
Oh,
that was brought up.
fantastic.
Katrina Allen has 322 career events and 164 wins.
Okay, nice.
And then Paige Pierce, let me click my little hyperlink, has 286 events and 135 on the wins.
Okay, I take it back. It's not because Paige played smaller events. Katrina's played more events.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Katrina's probably played more smaller events. so
Yeah.
she's just dominated.
I guess that's true.
You know.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool.
Bonus. Ding, 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 ding.
Wait, I thought that was the bonus.
No, that was the
Double
the next
bonus.
question.
Okay, but we got it right though.
Right. Yes, you both got it right as
Nice.
Katrina.
Okay.
Who has the better percentage, Katrina or Paul Macbeth?
Oh,
Wait.
wait.
Like win percentage?
Yeah, career
Who has
events
the
versus career wins.
I'm gonna say Katrina as well.
I feel like it's a trick question, but I'll say Paul.
Eric is right.
Yeah, I thought it was Katrina, but for some reason I figured you would try and fool us.
I knew Paul when he was a scrub, so
Ha! Screw.
According to PDJ.com, Paul has a 38%. I thought that was interesting too.
Dickerson's win percentage is better than all of theirs.
like
His is unbelievable.
it is ridiculous.
Yes. Let's see. So that means.
So those are
You both got Katrina,
Yep, and I got the 2008.
but Eric got the bonus.
I thought you said the bonus point questions weren't worth anything.
Double.
What
I
I
heard.
said. I just said they were bonus.
I'm so confused. Like, how are you keeping score right now?
Who cares? It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's fun for me.
It's like whose line is it anyway? The points don't
Don't
matter.
matter. Yeah. Okay. Number 3.
Number 3.
According to the PDGA 2019 year-end demographics published in May of 2020,
Oh dear.
I definitely read this article.
Yeah.
between
Cover to cover.
these, okay, so we have 3 different questions, but between these 2 states, which has the most courses?
Okay.
Horses.
Ready? Courses.
Okay.
Georgia or Missouri?
What kind of question is this?
You want to go on 3 or?
Danny and Anthony got them all right.
That's because they read.
They did not.
Yeah. Okay.
That's because they don't read.
Okay.
That was a zinger of a comeback.
All right. Yeah, we can go on. We say 3, 2, 1. Answer.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Missouri.
Georgia.
Eric is right. Missouri
Okay.
by 35.
Man, this is a fun game.
I believe there is a lot of courses in the state of Missouri.
Yes.
If
Have you designed any Missouri?
I think
Not yet.
Not yet.
so.
okay.
A more realistic question would be to ask like
This
which
is
state
my
has
game.
okay, but
But
which
no.
which state has
You-
more
ne-
courses
you-
per?
You,
Bobby,
next
I
time
think
you
your
run
questions
disc
are
golf
great.
trivia, you get
Bonus
to
point?
state how.
Okay, yeah,
how
no, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, Pennsylvania
Is a state.
or good one. Pennsylvania or Indiana.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Pennsylvania.
Yes, by 201 courses.
This is stupid.
2, Nebraska or Nevada.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Nebraska.
Incorrect.
Nevada.
Really?
Nevada by 58 courses.
See, because I think I could say probably the top 5 states,
'cause
but
I
I don't. But I don't think that. Okay. No, this is fun. When you do that, that's really fun.
Cool. Doesn't it add to the
what
fun?
was the first state to 100 courses? That is the question.
Oh, that I don't know.
Kansas.
Okay, never mind. Definitely not Kansas.
Okay, question.
Kansas is super high per capita, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, Emporia is for sure.
Iowa and Kansas, I know.
I think Iowa was one of the first to 100 courses.
Yeah.
All right, get your PDJ rules question or rules hat on. Ready? Okay. This is number 4. According to the competition manual, by the way, who's in the lead? Let's see. Oh, Eric is in the lead by 1.
This is the dumbest.
According to
we have some bonus questions. They don't really count. Oh, now they count.
I never said they didn't.
Yes,
count.
you did.
We're going to rewind that and listen to that later. According to the competition manual for disc golf events, 2.01 paragraph C.
Perfect.
We know that a player is responsible for knowing what division they are eligible to compete in. However, let's say we have a 2-day, 4-round event. If after the start of an event, a TD discovers that a player is in a division they are not eligible for, and everyone is playing the same layout, the TD can A, let them continue to play in the same division for the rest of the rounds, B, move the player to the correct division for the rest of the rounds, or C, remove them from the event.
Ooh.
Kick them out entirely.
That's what I think should happen.
Yeah.
All right, but what do you think?
I would say B.
Yeah, me too.
Move them to correct division.
Okay, this is kind of a trick question because they can also do C. So they can do B, so I'll give it to you.
Oh, they can remove them as well?
Dude,
later.
According to paragraph B, it states that entry into an eligible division may result in disqualification from the event.
Wow. Sucks to suck,
so
bro.
they have that choice.
Dang.
I thought that was interesting because I didn't know all that. All right, question number 5. So
Good thing
both
you're
you
not
get
a
that
TD.
one. Yeah, no kidding. Woohoo. According to PDJ Rule 811, Section
Great
F,
rule.
Paragraph 9.
Oh.
The wrong starting hole or group. The player has begun play on a hole or in a group other than the one to which they were assigned. How many penalty strokes are added to the player's score?
Do we have options?
No.
Or is it
You just got to tell me.
par plus? Is it par? Let's see. Par plus 4, right?
I would have put this like playing a hole out of order or playing from the wrong
Oh, wait.
tee box.
Wait.
I would have said 2 strokes. I don't know, though. I haven't had that one happen before.
Yeah. I'll stick with par plus 4.
2 strokes. The player continues playing. 2 throws are added to the player's score for the first hole played, which means
Which makes sense because they played the
You guys
hole
tied.
wrong. So
you
Wait,
tied in
when
the
you
disc
did
golf
bonus-
cool day slippery trivia, where he makes the questions up and you just have to answer them and not complain. What?
Okay. So the percentages didn't count for anything? The win percentages didn't count for anything? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, they
No, that's
counted.
fine. No, that's cool. That's cool.
They counted.
No, that's fine. That's cool.
Anyway, all right. So that was our disc golf trivia.
What did I tell you
The
before we
most fun
started this?
part, according to
What did I
Robert.
tell you? I said, this is great because it's an opportunity for you to make us look stupid on the internet. Mission accomplished.
I don't think I look stupid.
Dude, I tried. I tried my best, and Bobby made fun of me.
All right. So SpeakPipe
Your best is 50%.
That's fair.
All right. So SpeakPipe is where you can send in. We can literally hear from you and hear your questions. Where you can send in a voicemail to us, and we will get those answered here on the air. We're going to do a couple of them. I think Anthony, you have it queued up and ready to go.
I sure do. The first
right.
one here is from Sean.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man, this is Sean from New Jersey. So, I have a question for you. I need a throwing putter, and I know the Warden is number 1 on the list, and I was under the assumption, though, that the Warden, especially the Lucid, is like a slower EMAC Truth, and that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for more of a neutral throwing putter. So, I don't know if maybe I was wrong, and the Warden is still a great disc and choice, or if you guys have another suggestion. I'm kind of looking for something along the lines of like a slower warship or a slower buzz. So any suggestions you can give me would be awesome. And also, Robert, thank you so much for the tip you gave probably about a month ago now about it was a tip to stop rounding about like trying to pretend like you're trying to knock down a door with your elbow at the end of your
It's probably
to
Danny.
enter the power pocket better. And that actually helped me realize that I wasn't using my lower body or my hips at all into my throw. And now instead of my max distance being 280, now it is 320. So thank you so much for that. Anyway, guys, I appreciate everything you do, and have a good day.
Nice. Thanks for the kind words. I'm nearly positive that Danny gave you that tip, but either way.
Thank you, Robert. Yeah.
But also, I'll just take credit for it. Thank you. Thank you, son.
I imagine him practicing. He's just going through his house, just knocking doors over.
Anyway. Okay, so comparing a disc to a slower disc is not an exact science, right? If you say the EMAC or the Warden is like a slower EMAC Truth, that may be true for some people, but the Warden is its own disc. It flies so much slower than the EMAC Truth.
Pretty much any putter is going to fly slower than any mid-range.
Yeah, that's fair. So what I'm getting at with the Warden is that I think it's easier to keep neutral than something like the EMAC just because of the added speed on the EMAC. You have to get EMAC up to a pretty good speed in order for it to stay straight for the entire flight. So it's going to have, depending on the disc, maybe a slight bit of turn and then a little bit of fade. The Warden, for the most part, you can fly pretty straight and just have a little fade at the end. So if you're looking for something even straighter than that, you'd probably want to go down just a step in stability. But I would say I still think the Warden is a great throwing putter because it's, for me, just a point and shoot, just straight as an arrow. If you want one that's a little bit more understable, you might pick up a blend, a classic blend Warden. Those start with the same stability but work into really straight pretty quickly. So that's what I would suggest. And if you haven't tried it, just go and try it. Like pick up a blend Warden. Your investment is gonna be less than $15, and you'll know pretty quickly if that's a good putter for you to throw for sure.
Yeah, Warden is good. It's a great flyer, although I would suggest for neutral flying, the Pure. The Pure is just, I don't know what it is, but it just feels really nice in the hand, and pretty much any plastic. But the more premium plastics tend to hold up a little longer, I guess, durability-wise, and for whatever reason, those gold line Pures just fly so straight as a point and shoot for me. So that's going to be the putter I'm going to suggest for you to go out and try.
Yeah, sweet.
Nice. Who's up next, Anthony?
Next up is Penjami Pesonen.
Hello, Disc Golf Answerman. This is Penjami Pesonen from Finland, and today my question is about spinning the disc. Whenever I see pro players spinning the disc while they're waiting their turn or whatever, they mostly spin the disc in their left hand. I have been wondering why they do that and why they're spinning it with their left hand. Is this like a righty-lefty thing? Because I myself personally spin it in my right hand. Or is the reason behind that they don't want to tire their throwing hand? Or do they just want to flex that they can spin it in their left hand? I want to hear the reasoning and your thoughts about this. Appreciate it.
Weird flex, bro.
Yeah. For me, it's just natural. I couldn't do it on my right hand if I tried.
So I don't think I could do it on my left hand if I tried.
For real?
Yeah, we had this discussion the other day upstairs with Temp. He said, which hand and on which finger and which direction do you spin a disc? So
clockwise, middle finger.
I spin, but right hand, middle finger, clockwise.
Wow.
See, Bobby's is counterclockwise.
Wait, you would like if you're gonna spin a disc and you're waiting, and that's your throwing hand, right?
It's my throwing hand, middle finger, but I'm going the opposite.
But you're going
direction.
that way, and what did I do?
You went the other. Yep. You brought
It's
it
because
towards you.
Yeah.
What do you do, Eric?
I told you.
On your left and your non-throwing hand.
Yeah, left hand, middle finger, clockwise.
Left
These
hand,
are the
middle
hard-hitting
finger.
facts.
So it's just like whatever like you do. I mean, it's not. There's no rhyme or reason, really, is there?
Anthony's
Anthony's
counterclockwise.
And his right hand.
Right hand, index or
And
middle
Danny
finger.
is doing on his big toe on his left foot. Oh.
Wow.
Incredible dexterity. No, Danny is right hand, middle finger, clockwise. So we're the same.
I mean, I can do it, but
But that's just
for
not what
whatever
you
reason,
naturally.
it just feels better on the
Yeah.
left.
I don't know.
So
And I think it's because I'm used to throwing the right, so I spin it. I don't know. Never thought about it, to be honest.
Yep. Also haven't really thought about it.
I
Just
hadn't
kinda
either,
happened.
but it's just that's interesting. Also, this is Robert when he reached over 1,000 rated, so we'll
remember
throw that on the ground.
Remember when I destroyed you at that bet?
Yes, you just.
Then you destroyed me at trivia. What? Wait, what?
All right, let's do one more Speak Pipe if you have it.
All right, yeah, we got one from Shay.
Robert, the kid is crying. Come on, boy.
Cool, Daddy. Slick
Will you
breeze.
change him, please?
Eric, I got a new boat. McCabe and Robert, possibly a McDaddy at this point. If so, congratulations.
He's a McDaddy.
McCall, this is Shay from Philly with a question about the Winter Marksman League. I ran my first one at a local brewery last year, and it was a great experience for all parties involved. And I already have our host asking, hey, are we coming back this year? So I wanted to ask, is there any update on the Winter Marksman League? I'm sure you guys are probably having to juggle not only state-by-state rules, but also international, since this is a global event. So I was just curious about sanctioning for the league this year, if it's going to be happening, or if you can just give us any updates. Would appreciate it. Thanks for the info. Bye.
Bye. Well, like I
What
mentioned,
timing?
I
of
know.
this question.
Mentioned at the top of the show, Scott Reek, who's been running some of our events, emailed me the other day and said, hey, November 1st is going to be registration. Just let you know so you can start putting the word out there. So we're working on content for that. As far as I know, nothing has changed. Like I said earlier, the only thing that has changed is that you get a Latitude 64 Moonshine Pure. As far as following, of course, I'm not sure when that Speak Pipe went out. I don't know if things were maybe a little bit more locked down than they are now as far as different states. But I would imagine that you just have to follow your state's guideline or your county's guideline, whatever level of the government that's controlling all that in your area. But yeah, you would just follow that. We're just going to be the ones that provide you with the equipment to do that. Right now, it's not updated, but here in the next, I'm sure, couple of days, Clay will have the web page ready for you to check out. That's dynamicdiscs.com/WML, as in Winter Marksman League.
In Clay we trust.
I wish you would have chosen different words.
I tried. As I was saying, I was like, dang, I should have said Wimbledon.
Not what it actually stands for.
Mickey Mouse, Lucifer.
Then they're going to go to.
Whoa, hey,
whoa.
Are they connected?
Yes. Mickey Mouse and Lucifer. Whoa, that's like another podcast. Illuminati. So yeah, so check that out for sure. All right, guys. Well, that's all the time we have for this particular episode. We appreciate you tuning in. Again, a reminder, we are practicing this as a pre-produced premiere, but we are working toward going back live so that you YouTubers can interact with us and chat with us as we do the show. We're just making sure that we have all the kinks worked out. Make sure you're subscribed. Ring that notification bell so that you always know. Stay tuned for hot takes. That'll be uploaded the next day on YouTube and also on the audio version on your favorite podcast app. Did I forget anything?
On which it would be great if you would give us a 5-star review.
5-star reviews, please. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.